Hi, Tom Cole, the coach for Buckeye Cable and BCSN, and welcome into another edition of Sports Flash, and certainly a very special one to me. I really like this young lady who is a principal, an incredible principal at Scott High School, Treva Jeffries, 8-year principal. Treva, welcome. I see your work. I go to Scott. I'm privileged to go there every Thursday and do a radio show with Mr. Frank Corso, and the way we're treated, the way the building is run, the way the teachers are, the students, it's a compliment to you and your staff because it's a tremendously well-run school, and I know you're TPS proud.
I appreciate that.
Yeah,
thank you.
You'd see it the minute you walk in the door. And you, young lady, I've heard some great things about you. Blake Minter, Treva's daughter, and incredible work you've done. Tell the folks your grade point average. We'll start there.
I have a 4.5 GPA.
Yeah. Blake, do you realize I've got 3 brothers that I went to school with, and if you took all 3 of our grade points and added them up, do you realize that we wouldn't be at what you are at 4.5? Congratulations to you. And oh, by the way, National Honor Society, valedictorian, 4-year cheerleader, 4-year volleyball. I mean, you get your letter jacket on. All those things, Blake, wrapped together. You've had great memories at Scott High School. It's a wonderful school. Give me 2 or 3 that, Blake, in your mind, that you'll never forget, that just stand out, that you're going to take with you forever.
I will never forget cheering.
Okay. Why do you like cheering so much?
Well, when it's a big game for the boys and I'm just cheering them on, and then at the end of the game when they say, "We heard you out there cheering for us," it really boosted us up.
Yeah.
And things of that sort.
Makes you feel good when you hear that? Yeah. Mm-hmm. And do you like, the cheerleaders, we try to show the cheerleaders all the time on BCSN because people don't realize you put in as much work as the boys. You do it in a different way, but you put in as much work, so we try to show that. So that's one thing. Give me a couple more that in your mind, when you leave Scott, you're going to say, boy, this was a great time, or this is something I really enjoyed.
Well, at Scott, we're more like a family. My class, we all know each other on a personal level. Right. And it's like you walk through the hallways, hi Blake, oh hey, everybody by name, and it's like a family.
There's I went to a school like that, Blake, and when I was in high school 9 million years ago, and also college 100,000 years ago, but there is a trust element there. That's what I got out of it. When people know you and they care about you, and they care about you, it makes school more fun, I think, and you feel better about just the whole process. Would you agree?
Yes.
Yeah. Treva, how do you, because I get that vibe when I come in your school. I just what Blake describes, that's the vibe I get, that people know one another, they care about one another, the teachers care about the students, the coaches care about the students and the athletes. That doesn't just happen. I mean, how do you create that kind of vibe? What's your kind of magic to make that happen?
Well, it's not my magic. That's the spirit of Scott High School, first of all.
Okay.
And it has been. It's a tradition and a legacy of Scott High School. Once a Bulldog, always a Bulldog.
I've heard that a few times. I like
Just
that.
a few.
I'd like to be an honorary Bulldog. I like
and
that.
you are.
Okay.
You are. You're there every Thursday with us, too. But we work hard to make sure that we involve the community. We are a community hub.
Yes.
And we just try to make sure that we take care of the whole child, not just the academic portion, but take the child and mold them into someone who's going to be a productive citizen.
Do you think that, Treva, that people on the outside and the general public know, I mean, Blake, because you go there every day, how gorgeous this building is, the refurbing of this building? I mean, I walk in that building structurally, architecturally. I mean, it is gorgeous. I'm wondering, how there's some people that don't realize how great this building is. Do you get a sense that not everybody knows?
No, everyone doesn't know how nice it is inside as well.
Oh my gosh.
And we make sure that we keep the building intact. And we invite individuals to come at any time to tour the building. Even during the school day, I really like to have individuals come in to see it during the school day so that they can see the wonderful children inside the school building. So that not just that it's a structure, but it is an institution of learning. And those students are there, and they have pride in the building.
Yes.
They have pride in going to Scott. I have pride in Scott and my staff. that's why I sent my child there with me.
I remember you were at Scott. Were you also a cheerleader?
I was.
Yeah, so Blake, what do you think about that? You and Mom cheerleaders at the same school? That's kind of cool, isn't it, really?
And look, and we were both homecoming queens.
And both homecoming queens? Blake, is that, that's the nature of cool right there. That's about as good as it gets. That's really neat.
Like mother, like daughter.
Like mother, like daughter. But Treva, to your point, every time we have a program called BCSN Goes Back to School, and Greg, Frankie, and I have been to every high school, almost every grade school. We've visited, talked to 40,000 kids in 8 years for BCSN. And I want to tell you what, every time I walk into Scott, there isn't a piece of paper on the floor. There isn't, a milk carton, or there isn't, that place is, it's just, you go in other schools and sometimes, there's something, any school, but when I went to Scott, it's like perfectly clean. Everything's picked up. That's pretty neat. That is pretty neat.
We do work hard to keep it clean.
Yeah, it's very obvious. Blake, what would you say is your biggest learning experience or takeaway from Scott High School that you have grown personally from? What would you say that would be?
My biggest learning experience.
Yeah. Your biggest kind of maturing something at school. You said, you know what, I did this, I learned a lot about myself, and I grew a lot. What would that be?
Wow.
Anything strike you?
Well.
Or a class that you excelled in all your classes, but a class that you went in the classroom and you said, boy, this is just great.
I think I learned more from my peers than I did in the classroom.
Really?
And another thing I learned is, though I do have a 4.5 GPA,
yes,
I don't think that tells you how smart I am or anything. I feel like there are people at my school that may be smarter than me. They just don't show it, or they just may not do their work. But
no, that shows how smart you really are, because I truly believe that. I think that intellect is a relative thing. Maybe somebody might be smart about football plays as a coach, and somebody might be smart about design, and somebody might be smart about history. We all have different skills and talents, and just to compare someone's grade point does not reflect intelligence. I've always believed that. Well, listen, ladies, it's been an honor and a privilege to have you on. And we're going to take away here, this is an outstanding young lady and a great principal, and once a bulldog, always a bulldog.
Always a bulldog.
All right, you're going to do great. And Treva, you keep up the good work, and thanks so much for being with us on BCSN. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Tom Crow, the coach for Buckeye Cable and BCSN.